YouTube, this is Supremo Al here, making a trip out to China. We're at the Sigelei headquarters right now, and giving you guys a sneak peek at one of the new Supremo products. It's called the Moonshot, and we're going to be releasing this product through Sigelei. So let's take a quick rip, and it's 200 watts, 0.25 ohms. Alright, so that was stainless steel 22 gauge 10 wrap space coil on this tank. So I'm going to give you a quick overview, kind of like the down low on how the tank works. It's a little bit different, it's kind of the same, all tanks are pretty much the same, but this tank is something you might want to check out if you're into flavor chasing or cloud chasing. So that was 200 watts space coils. Right here I got a built the 24 gauge 10 wrap. The coils are touching contact rails. Pre-burnt them and got the coils nice and even. And we'll go over that in just a second. So the Moonshot tank is pretty much a RDA, which is what we designed it around. So start off with the RDA, then we put the tank around it on the outside. Our emphasis is it is RDA with the tank, because that's kind of how we just designed it. But so let's do this right on the fly. So the first point is RDA has what we call a con control spin deck. So you have your build right in there. This hose comes right out. When you're actually building the deck, we give you a tool that you can just stick through the airflow channels through the bottom hole to secure your deck, so when you're screwing it and tightening your coils, it'll stay put. Take out the coils and you can whip your con through that, which I'll do in a second for you guys. So there's a channel there where you can secure the deck right in place. Once I get that nice and secured. So once you whip your con through, the liquid inflow is lined up with your coils, so you can wick it properly and easily. So let's just, I'll show you how to wick the coils on this one. Just get the cotton right out. I'm just going to thread the con right through, pull it through. I usually like my con pretty tight in there. I think that's a little too tight. I'm going to trim it off a little bit more. Just pull off the outer layers. Works well. Outer layers. Let's try that again. So when we were designing this tank, we really thought about simplicity. I've been vaping for a while, and I remember back in the day, always wanted something that's really nice, reliable, high-end, but it's mostly out of my price range. So what Supreme is all about is bringing the high-end devices or quality devices, designing quality devices at a price that is reasonable for most people. And there's already too many mod makers, and I love them all. Know a lot of them personally, and there's just too many to just make another device or another tank to be just standard. They probably have better ideas than me. I'm all about improving things instead of doing a lot of redundant, just making another box. So anyways, off with the rambling. So you got the con that's right in there. Just snip the con right off the bottom. So you can plug the con right in, snip it off the outside. Just shove that in. So if you pull the con tighter, you get a lower density of your wick, or you can trim off longer and shove more con in there. So I got it cut off a little bit. Let's get it all nice and tucked in on the side. Push that in. So you got a nice build. It's perfect as is. It's pretty easy to build. Tuck your con through, cut it off. No need to really adjust the con too much afterwards. Take the base, screw it right on. Airflow control, airflow input, it's all, we calculated it to get the highest velocity. So while you're actually vaping on this tank, it cools it off actively. Because of the way it's designed, the air is forced through a small channel, but it's not restrictive. That creates a higher velocity and it also actively cools the tank down. So I'm just going to drip some of this liquid that Sigelei has given me. I think it's a green tea flavor. Let's try it out. So it's nice and saturated. I'm just taking off the space coil build that was running at 200 watts. And I'm going to go with the contact coil build. I usually use the contact coil build for flavor, and I only recommend going up to about 90 watts or so with a contact coil. It's really for flavor chasing. Space coil is what I usually use for higher wattages like 120, 150, up to 200. Got some e-liquid on my fingers, nice and slippery. Alright. So it's pretty easy. So at the same wattages as a RDA, say 150 watts running it, just chain vaping it, this thing will be nice and cool. We got a wide bore drip tip on here. It's made out of Delrin, but at the same time, the inner diameter will fit a regular 510 drip tip. So you can use any 510 drip tip you like on there. Right. So 510 drip tip, standard one goes straight in, pop it right out. I'm going to break it in at contact build 24 gauge, 24 gauge 10 wrap, and that's at a 0.24 ohms. I'll break it in at 50 watts. So it's 50 watts. So if I'm at 50 watts, I would close the airflow off a little bit. And the airflow adjustment is very linear. So a lot of tanks out there, the airflow when you adjust it, you know, full open is max airflow, half open is max airflow, and then 25% is like half airflow. So it's not very linear. On this design, it's very linear. So as you adjust it close closes predictably.